Hey everybody, welcome to CopyPulse. This is a review of Adams Technology Solutions Inc. Today we're going to be going over the design of it and the copywriting of it. Now, personally, I'm a copywriter. My name is Max from CopyPulse, and I think that both design and copywriting is an important feature to have. Um, why? Is because design reflects upon its copy. If you don't have a good design, it's going to be hard to read it. And then if you have a great design but you have terrible copy, you're going to press back too. So the average internet person that comes to your website, you have 3 to 5 seconds to capture them or interest them in what you are trying to do. So if you're trying to sell a service, or if you're trying to have them buy a product, or you just want to read a damn article, you have 3 to 5 seconds to help them make their decision. And if you don't make it for them, they'll just press back. So when I look at this website, Adams Technology Solutions, I already know, first of all, that Adam is a software engineer in the SAS niche, and he does that professionally. But I also know that Adam, because he contacted me, is doing a voice to app service for website owners. So basically, let's say you have a website and somebody comes to your website and is interested in what you have or has a question for the website owner or whoever's writing the copy. And he says, okay, I want to do a voice message. So he clicks on this little toolbar or a little pop-up on the side and records his voice using his microphone. This recording gets sent to the webmaster or whoever's in charge of it, and then they can do a voice message back to that person using the same app. Now, that's great. That sounds really interesting. I know Ask Pat or Pat Flynn at Smart Passive Income uses this, and I believe his preferred service is SpeakPipe. Um, they use it, very successful. He uses it on his podcast, very successful. But I don't see any of this on this website. What I see is Adams Technology Solutions Inc. So what I'm thinking is happening here is that you're trying to use your SAS services and mingle it with your Voice 2 app. So I'm going to do like a dual um, review of your copy and design. So one is going to be for your Adams Technology Solutions Inc. and then the other one's going to be for your Voice 2 app. And the reason for this is I'm not sure which one you're trying to use here. So I'll just go over both and be safe. So if this is your voice to app, this is not the way to go. The only reason is first of all, I don't know what's going on. Your headlines have nothing to do with voice to app software or plugin. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm not a development person. And it has no benefits or features or anything that makes me want to click on anything. Then ditto if it is your Adams Technology Solutions for your SAS services. Okay, save time and money. Okay, what does that mean? Like, how am I going to save time and money with you? Prove it to me. That image does not prove it to me. That one little sentence does not prove it to me. Okay? Get an estimate on your budget. We deliver more at a better price. More of what? I have no idea what you're talking about. And I feel like I'm badgering you, but I just want you to know and to experience what your audience is going to go through if they come to your website. Now, the overall feel of your website is very corporate-y. When I look at it, I think of a intuition. I can never say that. Financial institution, like a Wells Fargo bank type look to it. And if you're in development and things like that, that's perfectly acceptable. Uh, I would advise you to make it more fun and interactive with people so they'd be more interested in it. But overall, it's okay. That's the design of it. You have your featured image right here, you have your menu right here, and then 3 blog posts. It's a very basic layout. I'm assuming you're using some kind of template. If you're doing your voice to app, this is awful. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that, and the reason I'm being so negative about it, is because I want you to succeed. And I don't want you to fall in the same pitfalls I've fallen in thousands of times, or at least it feels like it. I've had lots of businesses that and websites that look like just like this. And the reason they didn't work was because I had a bad design and bad copy. So, if we're talking about the voice to app again, this whole section that you're viewing right now should be changed. Okay? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I did some research prior to looking at your website with your competitors. And I had a difficult time finding competitors for your niche, which is actually good and bad. Okay, the good is that you don't have a lot of competition. The bad is you don't have a lot of examples of what not to do and what to do. So we're going to take a look at two of them. I accidentally closed. Oops. 1 second. Okay, so we're actually take a look at one of your or a couple of your competitors, which two of them are ridiculously awful. So that goes in a good favor for you. So we're going to look at this site right here. It's online-voice-recorder.com. Awful domain name, but let's go with it and pretend like they're making $1 million here. Okay, their layout of their website is horrid. Okay, I don't know what to do. There's no headlines. At the very top up here, sort of right by their voice recorder thing, there should be something telling me what to do with this thing. All I know is it's a recorder. It's free to use, okay? Um, but does that mean that they get a copy of it? Is it, it's really stupid, okay? I know this isn't exactly your niche, but it's the closest thing I could find as a competitor. So awful branding, but you could use some of their features that they mention here. I would definitely write them down, review them, look them over, that sort of thing. Then we have this website. Oh my gosh, is it awful? And I think you can pretty much tell that they have no text, they have no headlines. Adobe Flash Player is blocked because I'm using Chrome. I don't think Chrome uses Adobe Flash anymore, so that should be updated on their website. And then they got some crazy little cartoon thing there. Makes no sense. Then we go to the competitor that actually makes sense, and I actually scroll down a little bit. There we go. So if you clicked on this website, this is what you would see, and immediately it answers my questions, or it is what I want, because that's what I'm searching for. Okay, so what I'm looking for in any website, and you may do this uh, subconsciously, not even realizing it, is what you're doing is you're looking for a website that relates to you. Does it help your business or whatever your interest is at the time of you searching on Google? Does this website look reputable? So, do I think they're just trying to take my money and run? That type of thing. And then, if I want to buy something from them, a product or a service or whatever else it is, prove to me that this is a good solution for me, for whatever reason I want it for. Okay? This website does that. Maybe it doesn't fill all of those criteria, but it's a good darn start for your business. Okay? First of all, they have a headline that is direct, easy to read, and is sort of in your face. This is called the feature boxed area. You can look it up. I can't think. Derek Halpern from Social Triggers actually coined that term. And instead of get started where that orange button is, he would probably have an opt-in box, which actually worked really good. But since you're selling a service, this makes sense. The other thing that SpeakPipe does really well here is that they have a demo to the right. So let me click it. Here's the demo. A little slow to load, which is a downer, in my opinion, for a person who's interested in your services. And then you can actually start recording. Now, if I look at your website, oops, right here, okay, Adams Technology Solutions Inc. None of that is present. including for your SAS stuff. So if you want your SAS stuff to be on this Adams Technology Solution Inc. page, then it should be all about that. Nothing else. Maybe you can link to, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my experience. That makes sense. But it should not be selling your voice to app. Let another website do that for you. Get another domain name and then host it with the same host on your site. Does that make sense? Because if you're trying to sell something, it should be all about that. So let's take a look at your headlines, okay? So SpeakPipe has received voice messages from your audience directly on your website. You have voice to app, receive voice messages on your site with voice to app. Okay, what am I supposed to know from that? How is that supposed to help my business? Does it relate to me? And is it a good solution for me? None of that is answered right there. So my suggestion to you is to get a new website. You can use plenty of templates out there that are free to help you out with this. I actually paid for mine through ThemeForce. It's called Uncode, and I love it. It took me a while to get used to, I'm not going to lie, because I'm not a developer. I don't know anything about HTML. I mean, a little bit, I guess. H1 tags, H2 tags, that type of thing. But I knew what I was looking for. This is not a good sales page. It's not a good landing page. This is outdated. And if you want to be looked at as a person to go to for either of those websites, Voice to App or Adams Technology, probably should change it. At the very least, I would change the carousel app that you or widget that you have going on right now. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I am, again, not in your field. You know your field better than I do. But based on my experience, this is pretty corporate-y. Okay, next thing. Headlines is over, so we're going to take a look at, your menu. Okay, your menu right here says development services, blog, about us, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't have anything regarding your voice to app, which makes me concerned, again, if this is for that or not, or this website is for that or not. Then we can look down at benefits. Or excuse me, this is actually, this is the benefits, because increase your interaction with your audience right here. So if you look at that headline, it is increase interaction with your audience. They're talking directly to the people that are coming to this site. And if you read their little description under that, it says add SpeakPipe to your website, and visitors will be able to send you voice messages from anywhere on your website by simply clicking a button. Little long-winded sentence there, but so be it. It works. If you look through all these headlines, you're going to notice they use you, your, and they use it in the description. It's because it's not about them. New businesses, I see this all the time, and I've made this hundreds of times, or at least feels like thousands now, because I've been doing it since I was 13 years old, and I'm now 32. So, every year I switch businesses because something wasn't working, and I get tired of it or whatever. And lo and behold, somebody finally told me and sort of yelled at me that you're doing it all wrong. And I was just like, what do you mean? How am I doing it wrong? I'm putting up a website, people are coming, but they're not buying anything. Well, the reason is because I was talking about me and my business. I was saying we provide you with, I don't know, XYZ services, or I can provide you with a free ebook. Well, nobody cares about me. All they care about is what I can do for them. So it should be you can increase your conversions by downloading this free ebook. It's about them. Nowhere is it about me in that sentence. Think about that when you're writing your posts and your headlines. It's hard at first, but you get in a habit, and let me tell you, it's a good habit to be in. Even in conversations, nobody cares about you. You know, when you go to a network conversation, to a network thing that's going on in your local neighborhood, or even if you meet somebody at the bar or the coffee house or whatever, it's all about them. Make it about them, and they will be so thankful that somebody cares, somebody wants to listen to me, somebody thinks I'm interesting, you know, and they'll talk your ear off. That's the same thing you want to do with your customers. You want to engage them by talking directly to them, not about them. Does that make sense? So try not to use we, business, or my business. Try not to use things like that because they're so generalized. Make it about them. Okay. Um, so we're gonna go down a little bit on your webpage, and so these right here, I read through them prior to making this video, and truthfully, they're pretty boring. Um, the only reason is it talks about you. It talks about why the process Adams Technology Solutions created to more quickly and accurately create working applications and happy customers. What? Like those are all like gosh, what did they use? Trendy terms to catch, employers' attentions, like you would use in a resume. Um, but we're not doing that here. We are trying to attract people to click your links, to click and say yes to you, because as soon as they start clicking and saying yes to you more often, more than likely they're going to be okay with buying your services. It's so much easier to get them to say yes to a post than yes to a voice app right away. Okay? So, if you also notice in web design and development, we can provide guidance on technology. No, 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 no. We provide solutions for you. Or, again, I even make the mistake, as you can tell. I said we. So, let me think about this for a second. You can provide guidance on technology, tools, and architecture in relation to your business, current IT. So, you have these problems. We can solve them. It's basically the template you want to use whenever you're trying to write short descriptions. Alright, so I quickly paused this and wrote out the web design and development. I would make it so simple as just to say this. The only business solution you'll ever need, from IT to creating business goals, we are here to help you. Would you like to find out more? Doesn't that sound better than we can provide guidance on technologies, tools, and architecture in relation to a business's current IT, business environmental goals? We can answer questions like buy versus build, Amazon Web Services versus Micro Azure, and blah, 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 blah. It's now a little bit easier to read. Also, when things are centered and you have a short amount of space, it's sort of hard to read things that are centered. They should be left aligned to make it easier for the reader. Also, if you can or know how to, I would increase the font size. I believe 16 is a little easier to read, and make it like Arial or Times New Roman, something like that. I am dyslexic. I have issues reading online, believe it or not, even though I'm a copywriter. I have a special app that actually helps me with it, and it's a reading app. I'll go ahead and pull it up. So this is it. Sometimes I have to refresh it. Oh, it's not reading your website. So here's the thing that I didn't predict, but do you have Google XML? You can download a free plugin that'll make you an XML sitemap, and it'll help you get noticed on Google a little easier. I'd recommend that, and I believe it will help others like me read your website better. Okay, next thing. If you look at this right here, need to speak to someone about our services. Again, I don't know what your services are. only that you do voice to app, which you're trying to create a business with, and that you do SAS services. But I didn't get any of that from your website. You told me that personally through Fizzle. So I have a lot of issues with contact us now portions, especially on the homepage. The only reason is that first of all, your customer does or your audience doesn't know you very well, especially since you're just starting. So you want to provide a lot of value to them. Second of all, contact us now as a button is the most overused button in the world, and you need to change it up. I know some copywriters, if they're offering a ebook to their subscribers through an email list or whatever, they will say "gimme now" or "yes, I want this" or something like that. But contact us now is so corporate speak. It's so overused, and nobody clicks them. Nobody. I mean, maybe if they need help with something and they can't find anything else, but nobody uses them. I really, really, really am proud of you for putting testimonials on here. Biggest problem with new businesses starting is that they don't know the value of testimonials. Testimonials are so important and good for you for putting them out there, and I'm so happy for you. They're in the wrong place though. I'm so sorry. They're in the bottom. Okay, we want them towards the top. So a copywriter's technique is to put two at the bottom of the featured image, which is this would be the featured image right now, and you can actually put two of them right here. And then if this is a sales page, which this is not, it's a home page, you'd put 2 to 3 right here, depending on how much width you can fit and how long the testimonials are. And then at the like buy it now, right before that, you want to put 4 or 5, depending again on the length of the testimonials. And that provides so much value because you're reinforcing like, oh, you're not the first one to use this product. Oh, they had great reviews on it. Or, oh, they use it for the same thing I would be using in my business. So, really useful. If we go to SpeakPipe, they did a awful job with it. So, what people are saying, they literally just copied and pasted or took a picture of these people on Twitter. First of all, it's hard to read. Second of all, there's so many of them. It's sort of like, whatever. And they're all from the same place. And we all know Twitter, Facebook, all those things can be easily tweaked so it looks real, but they're not. Um, I know for a fact that SpeakPipe is real because Pat Flynn uses it, and it's not some gimmicky sales thing, but it does look like it from here. So this would go back to, does this website look reputable? This makes it go down for me. If we have 0 to 10, 10 being like the best reputation and 0 being the worst, I would say this drops it down like 2 points just because of how sloppy it looks. And it makes me wonder how sloppy they are with their demo. So then take the interaction with your audience to the next level. Get started. Again, using the same copy as they did up here. Get started. Get started. They could have varied that, and I would love to test that for them because I know they have a bunch of customers. But their website is very basic. Copy it, not copy and paste it, but copy the layout, copy what what they're trying to say to their customers. Mimic it. It's probably the better word here. Mimic what they're trying to do. I mean, mimic their logo. I actually like your logo, by the way. Voice to app makes total sense to me. That really does do a good job. Okay, so now let's talk about your posts. Okay, voice to app. I'm pretty sure this is just like a filler page that you just quickly went through and just went, okay, this is that. Okay, this is transcription, narration, blah blah blah. Okay, great. I understand. I've been there, done that hundreds of times. Voice to app is a cloud-based membership service that contains 3 tools. Okay. This sounds like a report from work. I used to write reports all the time. I used to be a sheriff, and this is sort of the way I would actually start my reports after I got in a fight or something like that with an inmate. So immediately that reminds me of schooling, corporate, things like that. How about changing it to something that your customer would want to hear? How about how would you like to interact with your customers on a personal level? Something like that. Now, obviously, I haven't done a lot of research on this, but that is more intriguing than voice to app is a cloud-based membership service. Okay, it sounds like you're trying to sell them right off the gate. And then you're listing three things, right? Three tools. The three tools are voice messaging, transcription, and narration. Sort of an essay. Okay, we're not doing essays here. Okay, selling is all about communicating to your audience, talking to your audience in their language. Copywriting is all about that. Now, as a copywriter, and I'm building my business, I am not trying to sell my services to you only because I'm not ready for it. I have too much on my plate right at this moment, and I want you to know that I'm trying to help you as much as possible. I do not want you to get discouraged. I do not want you to quit your business or get tired of it because of all these things. I just want you to know that all these things I'm telling you is the things that I have failed on in the past. All the things that I screwed up on. And I don't want you to go through that. I really don't want you to go through it. God, it's heartbreaking not getting people interested in what you want them to be interested in and getting bad feedback back. I don't want you to go through that. I really, really, really don't. Okay? Make it about them. Okay, so I actually played this 7 to 10 minutes into your video and then I stopped only because I wanted to get a feel for it. And when you're talking, Jim, I felt as if you were bored. You're bored with the product or the service that you're offering, and I am sure your audience would think that too. If you don't have a very animated voice or that's just not your personality or whatever, hire somebody to do it for you. Hire somebody to do a demo for you. There's a kid down the block, a teenager, I'm sure, that's always on Facebook or whatever, or even your grandson or granddaughter or whatever, that would love to do this. Okay? The reason I'm saying that is because you want people to be interactive. Okay? They're not going to be interactive with somebody who's bored with it. And you did actually do a pretty decent overview of your service, the transcribe audio file service that you have. But again, I didn't want to watch all of it because it sounded like you were bored. Like you have to do this. Ugh. Like one of those 9 to 5 people. Or better yet, like a person that's at the gas station. Okay? You go up to the cashier and he's like, "Hey, how's your day going?" "Yeah, it's going good, man. Thanks. I just need 20 on number 5. All right." And then that's it, No, we want to be interactive. We want to raise our volumes. We want to lower our volumes. We want to show them that we care and that we're passionate about this. Okay? Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And I wish you luck. If you need any other guides, help, or whatever else you need, let me know. Take care. Oops, let me talk about one other thing I didn't mention about us. Your About Us page needs work, but it does have some good points to it. Okay, the image should probably go because it looks like you're doing like a meditation thing instead of what you're actually doing. This is a voice to app or the SAS stuff. Below are some interesting observations about Adam's Technology Solutions. Okay, delete that. Nobody cares about your business. They care about themselves. So we love learning new things and creating applications and tools that can have an impact on both business and people. Okay. Once again, it's the report writing that we're both used to. Change it into about them. Your About Us is actually about your customer. Big misunderstanding about Us pages. It's very, very, very common. Okay. This is actually one of the most visited web pages on somebody's site, is the About Us. And the About Us should be funny. If you can manage to write that way, it should be witty, and it should be about them, even though it's not about them. Um, if you look through the Fizzle forums that we're a part of, I actually posted on an About page and actually pasted a whole thing about somebody else's About page. I thought it was fantastic, because they, first of all, they provided interest by showing you how to do something. First, they gave them a little bit of background about themselves, a little tiny bit, and then it was again about them and how they worked and how they would like to work with you, but in moderation. They pick and choose their clients, or at least that's what he says. Another one is, actually, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm pretty proud of my About page. I'll go to it in 1 second. Okay, so we're talking about interest. So rent my superhero powers makes you go like, what is he talking about? So business owners have to be superheroes, constantly saving the day, but unlike other superheroes we see on TVs and movies, we can't do it by ourselves. So it sort of, you know, creates a interest and sort of puts a question mark in their mind, like, what in the world is this guy talking about? You can find my About page as copypulse.com/about Max, or go to copypulse.com and click on Max's story. And the reason I mention that is because it's not about me, but it's telling them about my personality by saying I'm a superhero. My kids call me Mr. Incredible. And, I sort of just build off of that. And it shows my personality, but it's also giving them interest in what I do. I do copywriting, so therefore it should be interesting, it should be relevant, and it should show them who I am at the same time. That's what you need to do with your business. Again, my example is a bit skewed because I wrote it, but again, I will try to find that post that I did in the Fizzle, and I'll show you how to do the About page. But yours is about your business. It's about you, and it has nothing. I don't think you actually use you or your business at all. Let me see. You. 3 times. Okay. 3 times. Let's see. So, learn more. You know what? I haven't looked at this yet. Let's see what comes up. Okay. So it's your contact page. Very, very, very simple. I like that. I really wish you would have had this on your homepage. This makes way more sense to me, especially if you're the one that made it. Even for your SAS stuff, I would definitely have that on there. I mean, you made it. If I was a customer coming to your website and you didn't use your own product or service, it would make me wonder, like, why would I use it? Just a thought. All right, Jim, what you did well was, A, you're trying. You're trying really hard, and I can tell. Okay? B, is that you're actually hustling and asking questions and trying to get stuff done. Good for you. I'd recommend partnering with other people that are in your business and doing reviews for their website based off of your experience. That way you can get feedback for free. If you don't want to do that and you have the money, try user testing. It's either .com or .org, .net, something like that. And basically people will go to your website and test your website, tell you what's wrong, sort of like I did, but a lot shorter version of it. And yeah, do that when I do like big companies like I did with Charge Tech and Cole's Classroom. I had 5 people do reviews on their websites, and then I would incorporate it into what I was doing. So I'd personally pay for them and then include it in my report to my client. So something to consider, and it's one of my techniques, and it's actually a very good technique, and I get a lot of valuable information out of that. I believe that you can even have them test your app, but I know for a fact they just they do reviews off of design and I think some copy, but I'm going for mainly design when I do those user testings. Any other thoughts for you? Is that just keep it up, man. Don't give up. Why give up now? You put in a lot of work, and I can tell. Don't give up. I'm telling you all this stuff because I don't want it to happen like it's happened to me. Okay? Wish you luck. If you need any other help, again, reach out. Take care.